All right, you're charged with aggravated assault on a corrections officer. And I guess you're already being held on something.
Yes, Your Honor, she has a $3,000 bond in a separate felony case.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, I'm going to order that you not initiate contact with the alleged victim. The state is asking for a $10,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, Ms. Salazar is already in custody on a $3,000 bond that she cannot post. And the purpose of the bond being to hold her in custody, I think $10,000 is overkill here. I'm recommending $1,000.
State have any?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 1500. Next court date is November 7th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed. Don't have, well, I already said, don't initiate contact, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Okay, you're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Jose Ayala.
Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Where's the interim complaint?
This is a direct indictment, Your Honor. I don't think there's a separate complaint for this.
Does the jail have a copy of the warrant?
The jail is indicating they do have a copy of the warrant. Yes, Your Honor.
Well, can they send it to us, the ALMA?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. While you're doing that, can we see the next person and we'll come back to this gentleman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wait.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's Sean Goff.
Mr. Goff, you have an arrest warrant out of the Welton Justice Court. This is on I think this is on a failure to pay. $674.80 bond. And your next court date is November 10th at 10 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, what's your name?
Hello. Armando Montaño. How you doing, sir?
All right, Tucson City Court, you were charged with a shoplifting. This was this was last December, and you failed to appear in court.
Yes, sir.
You made your arraignment session,
Yes, sir, I did.
and then you failed to appear for your pretrial conference, which was back in February of this year. And then you missed another date in September of this year. And we also have a new charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. So you missed court. Why did you not come to your court dates?
Sir, I was in the process of helping my mother move at the time, and then I had lost all my I guess they sent my the mail to the old address, and it just got hectic around that time, and
Do you have access to a computer?
now I do. Yes, sir.
Do you have access to a smartphone?
Yes, sir.
Did you have then?
Excuse me.
Did you have access then when you missed these court dates?
I had access to a phone, sir.
Okay, then you could have contacted the court and asked for a reset of your court date. That's very
I
simple.
take I take responsibility. You're right, sir.
All right. All right, I'm gonna give you another chance. I'm not gonna hold you on a bond. So, we'll set a court date for November 26th,
Okay.
9 a.m. And, oops, it's not good. 6. Yeah, this is Judge Hale. Don't go back to the incident location, no contact with the alleged victim.
Okay.
So that city court, you have a new charge in Pima County Justice Court. This is a possession of drug paraphernalia and a shoplifting. Don't go back to that location either. No alcohol or illegal drugs,
Okay.
and no contact with victim.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to release you with a court date of November 7th, and that will be at 8:30 in the morning, Pima County Justice Court. These courts are both downtown. They are two different courts, though. Two different dates for each one. You're
Yes, sir, I will.
excused.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay.
okay, just hold on a moment. Okay, there you go. Then and I'm sorry, you were. I'm sorry? Uh-huh. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, all right. After this person, we can see Mr. Ayala again. What's your name?
Dallas Tyler.
I'm sorry, your last name again is what now?
Tyler.
Okay, got it. You've got cases in two different courts. Tucson City Court, you were cited for park violation back in February. You failed to appear on that matter. And you were cited for trespassing and you failed to appear on that matter as well. And then you got a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court, shoplifting, obedience to officer, and trespassing. And these are all from this year. You want to tell me why you didn't come to court?
Sir, the reason why I didn't come to court is because I'll be honest, I am bad at keeping appointments. I don't have any access to a phone, or I'm bad at keeping track of the date.
Mhm. You got paperwork from each of these courts?
I don't, sir.
Let's see. Well, you don't seem to be a very good candidate for release. Although I don't really want to hold you on this. I'm going to. So with Tucson City Court, bond is set in the amount of $100. City public defender is appointed. And your video review is November 7th at 1:45. Don't go back to the locations and don't have contact with alleged victims.
So am I getting released today, sir?
If you post $100, you will. If you don't post it, you won't.
Okay.
All right. You will have an attorney though, city public defender. And then on your other matter from justice court, I am going to release you on that with a court date of November 7th at 8:30. Obviously, if you're still in custody, that'll be changed. All right, you're excused. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I signed this. Yes, I did. Okay. Sure. Use your rubber band. There you go. Okay, Mr. Ayala. You have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of possession of a narcotic drug for sale, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited possessor, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony drug offense, possession of drug paraphernalia. The warrant 10,000, the state is recommending 7,500 with pretrial services supervision if posted. And if I'm
You're
you have a probation hold.
begging your pardon, Your Honor. The state must have missed a page on that because I didn't see 10,000.
Well, Jose,
So the state modified.
yeah, it's on here.
Okay. Well, the state would amend its recommendation to reflect the bond amount.
Okay, we'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, I'm asking you to completely ignore that bond amount. It is not clear to me at all why a bond was issued in this matter, or what, pardon me, why a warrant was issued in this matter in the first place. Since Mr. Ayala was in custody here at the jail at the moment that warrant was issued, and the county attorney's office knew it because he's in custody with a no bond hold in a case they're prosecuting. So I'm asking you to completely disregard that. I'm recommending a $1,500 bond. I don't know what the state's recommendation was going to be tonight, but certainly with a no bond hold in the other matter, it doesn't make sense to have an excessive bond in this matter. And I would also point out that when he was originally arrested on this matter, the bond was set at $2,500, not $10,000. So again, it's not clear to me why suddenly a $10,000 bond is warranted, but not even clear to me why a warrant was issued. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll hear the state's response.
Your Honor, the state submits on the written record otherwise.
Was Mr. Ayala in custody on October 24th?
He was.
No, I'm asking the state.
Oh, I
It would
understand.
appear so, Your Honor.
Bond is set in the amount of 500. Next court date, November 4th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. You're excused. Then it's released. Okay. Sure. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, Dylan Brown.
Okay. Spell your last name.
Brown.
Spell
I'll
it.
spell it BROWN.
Not you with it. Must be this one. Yeah. All right, you were charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence I am gonna release you with that condition of your release. Tucson City Court, December 2nd at 1:30. Let's make sure that is correct. Yes. December 2nd at 1:30, Tucson City Court. Be there. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Oh, Your Honor, my name is Troy Eberhart.
Okay. You are charged, sir, with 2 counts of unlawful imprisonment. I am ordering that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. No firearms or other weapons. Do not have contact of any kind with Yvonne Antomin or here, let's do it this way. Or her minor daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond is set in the amount of 2,500. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. Video review is scheduled for November 5th at 1:30. If you bond out, it will still be that same date and same time at Tucson City Court, but with you there in person rather than on video. You're excused. Hello, what is your name?
Hello, my name is Gabriel Enriquez.
Okay. Mr. Enriquez, let's see here. You have a pending case in Tucson City Court, domestic violence that you've already been seen on. Part of that case, you were ordered not to have contact of any kind with Maricela Loya. And tonight, you are being seen on another case. You were cited September 26th, domestic violence, contempt of court, and domestic violence, disorderly conduct. September 26th.
I have a question, Your Honor.
No questions, sir.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Anyway, I guess the charges tonight also involve Ms. Loya. So again, no contact with her. Don't go to her home and workplace. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons. No alcohol or illegal drugs, and don't commit any acts of domestic violence. Bond is set in the amount of 1,500. If you are still in custody, November 5th, 1:30, you'll be seen on video. If you post the bond, same court date and time, be there in person. I am appointing the city public defender to represent you. These are in Tucson City Court. You have any questions, you talk to your lawyer and ask him or her your questions. Okay, you're excused. What is your name? What's your name?
Good evening, Your Honor. Armani Rogers.
Okay, Rogers.
Yes,
Okay. You are charged with domestic violence, assault with injury, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. This is from today. You were previously charged with domestic violence assault with intent or knowingly causing injury and domestic violence disorderly conduct. And this was back on May 12th of this year. And part of your conditions of release on that older case were that you not commit any acts of domestic violence.
yes, Your Honor.
So this is going to be similar conditions. I'm going to add that you not to return to the residence of LaDonna Singleton.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
It is not object to contact per se, but she doesn't want you at her home. So don't return there. I am going to release you. Your court date at Tucson City Court is November 19th at 9:30. You come back
Okay.
to the third TV offense, you're probably not going home, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're excused.
Thank you.
I would.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Elisha Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you're charged with sale of a narcotic drug, money laundering, use of a wireless communication device. And the state's recommending a $25,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, I just point out that the pretrial services report has him at a level 2, and that this is an offense from September of this year. So there's been some delay in charging this. It's not clear what the delay is, but certainly Mr. Edwards doesn't have any additional charges appearing before you from an immediate arrest. It's only this older charge. So I'm asking you to set the bond at a much lower level. I'm asking for $2,500.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, the volume of substances involved here and the multiple charges speak to the need for a much higher bond.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't go back to the location of the alleged incident. And we'll set bond in the amount of 15,000. The legal defender is appointed. And your court date is November 7th at 1:30. Pretrial services supervision if the bond is posted. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Dylan, younger Fouts.
Okay. Mr. Phelps, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. You were charged last year in July with shoplifting and trespassing. You failed to appear in court. Warrant was the bond of 500. I will set bond in the amount of $500. Janet Altfuller is appointed as your attorney, and your next court date is tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. on video. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, Angelo Miller.
Okay. Mr. Miller, you're charged with burglary and a second-degree theft. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no firearms or other weapons, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. The state is recommending a $15,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Miller is a long-term resident of this community. The pretrial services score is only a 2, and there's no reason to believe that he won't come to court or couldn't come to court if you are intending to release him. For these reasons, I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision. And if that's not appropriate in your opinion, then I'd like a bond set at $1,000.
Thank you. I do not believe it is appropriate given his history. 15,000, November 7th, 1:30, and the public defender is appointed. Contact your assigned probation officer on the first working day following release. You're excused.
Your Honor, this is a Spanish interpreter with the inspection.
Are there any Spanish speakers?
No, Your Honor.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Ma'am,
Disconnecting.
Ortega Marie.
Ortega,
Maria.
I'm talking about your last name.
Ortega.
Okay. Last month, you were cited for trespassing and possession of a shopping cart, and you failed to appear in court. And for not guilty plea on that. On that same date, you were charged with assault, no injury, disorderly conduct, fighting, and criminal damage. You failed to appear on that matter as well. So why don't you come to court when you're supposed to?
I forgot my court date. Oh.
I'm gonna release you on this. You are being held on a felony matter though, so you're not gonna actually be released because of that hold. I'm ordering that you not have contact with any alleged victims, stay away from the incident location. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you. You're gonna have what's called a non-transport review date, and that is December 9th at 9 o'clock. Your public defender will be in court representing you. You will not be transported to that court date, though. Somebody from the public defender's office should be in touch with you before December 9th. You're excused. This is awesome. Something is wrong here. It's oh, it's, I'm wondering why it's in their folders. Okay.
I'm seated right here in this chair.
Hello, what is your name?
Michaela Plaskunak.
You are charged with driving under the influence. I'm going to order that you not drive without a valid license and that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. I am going to release you from custody. Your court date is in Green Valley Justice Court, October 30th at 8:30, with the conditions that I've mentioned. And you'll get paperwork and you're excused. Oh, sorry. Good evening. What's your name? Need to unmute, please. State your name.
Melissa Yvette Figueroa.
Okay. You've got 2 criminal complaints, one listing charges of possession of narcotic drug and drug paraphernalia. And this one is from February 16th of last year. And then you've got another one. This is from today. Possession of a dangerous drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. The state is recommending concurrent bond, 2,500. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, Ms. Figueroa is steps eligible on these cases. And in fact, the earlier of the two cases, it's not clear why it's taken so long to charge it, but the earlier charge, she's actually mandatory probation under Prop 200. The case, the very old case and the new case, though, both involve possession of simple amounts of possession of personal use amounts of narcotics and dangerous drugs. And for that reason, I believe she should be released to pretrial services and given a steps date.
All right, thank you. And we'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, on the 2024 case, it's likely that she was admitted to the hospital, and then because of HIPAA, the hospital did not advise when she was released. So the state still believes that with two separate cases, a $2,500 bond is entirely appropriate.
Okay.
It's still steps eligible on both cases.
Is that steps on both cases?
Be eligible for steps on both cases. She has no prior felonies, no indication of any factors that would make her ineligible for steps.
No, my question has to do with both cases. Or just one case.
Not likely.
I do have a job right now, sir. I do not want to lose this job that I have. It's very important to me right now.
Okay, we'll hear from state. Have anything else?
That's it, Your Honor.
All right, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons, don't return to the incident locations.
That product and your head off. If you get shot, for male, female. That's your head.
I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. So answer the question, and then there's a part here that I need to explain a little bit additional to you. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing? That is not a promise that you are going to be released. That is what I'm reading because it's printed here, but I'm not promising that I am going to release you. Are you interested in the STEPS program?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, your STEPS court date is November 4th at 9 o'clock. The public defender is appointed to represent you. Preliminary hearing waive time, well, no, because I'm holding you on a $500 bond. So that court date, preliminary hearing is November 7th at 1:30. and the public defender. And on the other case, it'll be the same conditions, same dates, November. Same date for steps, same date for the prelim, same conditions. And bonds are concurrent. Public defender appointed. All right, you're excused.
See what the Pima's up here. Thank you.
Hello, what's your name?
Brian Gorish?
You're charged with domestic violence, aggravated harassment. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, no contact of any kind with Maria Kloss, stay away from her home and workplace, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. The state's recommending a $10,000 bond with pretrial services supervision. And let me check something right quick. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, I'm asking you to release Mr. Gorish to pretrial services supervision. Several factors here. First of all, the victim, Mr. Gorish, already do not live together. He has a separate residence. And so the offense that's being complained against him in this matter purely involves text messages and phone calls. It does not involve any personal contact or any intimation of violence between the two of them. Simply unwanted contact by phone and by text. Mr. Gorish has full-time employment. He has no prior felonies. Pretrial services report puts him at a level 1. And for those reasons, Your Honor, despite the victim's objection, I think he should be released to pretrial services with the court's admonishment to have no contact with her and to be allowed to be out of custody and to pursue some treatment that he's looking at. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, we're already looking at a situation where the defendant's conduct was such that the victim sought and was given a order of protection that the defendant either challenged and lost or opted not to challenge. Plus, we have several actually concerning factors. One, constantly demanding that he see her. So this speaks to possible escalation. And then we're looking at the defendant apparently admitting to police that he's using apps on his phone to spoof his number, thereby trying to get around the fact that she likely blocked him. And it sounds like he's trying to extort her by keeping some of her items to drop the OP. For all those reasons, the bond suggested by the state is entirely appropriate. Thank you.
10,000, November 7th, 1:30, public defender. And the other conditions I've mentioned. You're excused, sir.
Look.
What's that? I have no idea. I don't. And I'm sorry, what's the name again? Here, let me look at it. Okay. Concurrent bonds. And I've unchecked release to pretrial services. And I'll check release to pretrial services if bond is posted. Close. Anyway, back to this. Hello, your name?
Benny Martinez.
Okay, one moment. All right, sir, you got a felony complaint, you've got an arrest warrant out of Green Valley Justice Court and warrants out of Tucson City Court. The felony charges are burglary in the 3rd degree, which will order no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol or drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. The state's recommending a $7,500 bond with pretrial services supervision if the bond is posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, I'm asking for release to pretrial services. If you don't believe that's appropriate, I'm asking for a bond of $1,000. Mr. Martinez is a long-term resident of this community, and this was not a crime involving direct contact with a person. This was a property crime purely. And certainly Mr. Martinez being homeless and having certain drug and substance abuse problems, he needs treatment, and he can start that treatment under the supervision of pretrial services. Thank you, Judge.
We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this man has been in and out of prison since 1987. To say he's a part of the community is stretching it, to say the least. Plus, we have epic history of failure to appear, probation violation, parole absconsion. This person is the very definition of a flight risk. And he was allegedly caught breaking into interstate rail cars to steal from them. 7,500 is the minimum appropriate amount here.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of 5,000. Public defender appointed, November 7th, 1:30. The Green Valley warrant lists charges of drug paraphernalia and driving on a suspended license. I'll note the felony hold. I'm gonna release him on this misdemeanor case. October 30th at 8:30 is the court date. Assuming he's still in custody, that'll probably change. Tucson City Court. Today, you were arrested for prescription-only drug violation and drug paraphernalia. And September 12th of 2024, you were charged with trespassing and you never did appear on that charge. We'll note the felony hold. Don't return to the incident location. No contact with alleged victims. Not guilty on both cases. Not guilty plea on both cases. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I am releasing you on the Tucson City Court cases. I am appointing the city public defender to represent you. And we're going to set a non-transport review date at city court. That will be December 9th, 9 o'clock. The city public defender will be present representing you. You will not be transported to that court date. However, someone from the city public defender should be out there to see you before your court date. And I believe that covers everything. You're excused.
Thank you.
Hello, what is your name?
San Nicolas Solale, the third.
Okay. You're charged with possession of a narcotic drug. State's recommending 2,500 plus pre-trial service supervision and steps. Let me read this statement to you about steps. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. This next statement is not a promise that you're going to be released from custody, but it's written, are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. The state's actually recommending a $2,500 bond with pretrial services supervision. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Your Honor, this case is possession of a personal use quantity of drugs. And so I believe it's absolutely appropriate for STEPS and appropriate for release to pretrial services at this point. So I'm asking you to do that. And I would just point out that he's a long-term resident of this community. There's no reason to believe that he would be a flight risk. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, given this defendant's history of that failure to appear and parole and probation violations, state thinks it's entirely appropriate.
Thank you. Your step date is November 4th at 9 o'clock. I'm setting a bond in the amount of $500. November 7th, 1:30 prelim, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Don't go back to the location. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Good evening, Your Honor. First name's Olajide. Middle name David, last name Shasanya.
You're charged with stalking. We're going to order that you not have contact with the alleged victims, stay away from the Park Place Mall and any other incident location. No contact with the alleged victims, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. The state is recommending a bond of $7,500 plus pretrial services supervision if posted. We'll hear from the defense.
Your Honor, as I read the complaint, it's obvious that this is not a traditional case of stalking. It's being amplified to a case of stalking because there appear to have been two separate incidents separated by some very, very short period of time. But it's obvious from this complaint that they did not know him and he did not know them. It was a case of mistaken identity. They were alarmed by him, but the fact that they were alarmed by him certainly doesn't mean that he was trying intentionally to stalk them or to make them alarmed. And in this sort of situation, not being a traditional stalking case, I think we have to look at the release conditions a little bit differently as well. He has a home in this community. He has a wife in this community. And he's lived here for a long time at this point. He is on the pretrial services report. He is a level 1, no history of any kind that would amplify that. I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision. Thank you, Judge.
We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, looking at ARS 132923, there is a course of conduct. It would appear the defendant knowingly engaged in it, directed towards the 2 victims here, and the victims clearly expressed that they suffered emotional distress or reasonably feared injury. The state stands by the recommendation.
$7,500, November 7th, 1:30, public defender appointed. And that's all on this matter. Are we seeing Israel Salazar? Actually, I don't have a file.
I don't see them listed on the calendar for tonight either, Your Honor.
Tomorrow? Okay, all right, it'll be seen tomorrow then. Was there a reason for that? Did he refuse or what? Oh, okay. Okay, tomorrow, 9:00. All right. Thank you, everyone. You're excused. Good night.